see what my pace is now. Oh, knocked it down to 11:48. It's in the 12s. Almost at 16 miles, 3 hours. Probably have about maybe 3 miles to go. 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, it's gonna be somewhere around 19 miles. I wonder, let's see if you can hear these. Sounds like some motorcycles that are just getting on it. They're like zipping through the forest. Hear them? Man, they're hauling ass. Like that's nothing. They came around here. There's at least 2. Man, they're getting on it. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to show you some. These are the hills of Florida, right? Like this is it. This is the treetop, so we're up high. That's really high up there. You see the ground. You see the ground right there. And then we're coming down off of that hill. This is a nice little spot to just kind of show you what these rolling hills look like in Central Florida. Believe it or not, this kind of turns into the Appalachian Trail. Wow. Yeah, they're getting on it. These high RPMs right there. Huh. This area was actually burned last year. Hadn't been a whole lot of time since they burned through here. I remember running through here when it was still smoldering. So you see the grass and stuff grows pretty quick, but it just fucking put so much stress on. Look at it, it killed all of these. They talk about a good game about invasive species and all that shit, but you know what? We're all invasive. The whole fucking planet is invasive, so you just got to kind of let nature do its thing. In my opinion, I think there's more to this burning. It's kind of like in my twisted mind, an evil endeavor that people have been brainwashed into spitting off all the fucking benefits of these controlled burns. Which I understand if you own some property and maybe you needed to manage, you know, an area or something. I don't know. These are public lands. And just in my mind, no one's got the right to pay themselves. Really, these guys get paid a lot of money to come out here and do this. I mean, these guys are, you know, they're making, some of them 6-figure salaries. Or close to it, you know, like with all the benefits they got, you know, their health care and all that shit. But look at how high it goes over there. Like that's the ground. All the way up through there. But yeah, they get paid a lot of money to come out here and burn all this shit. And they have, you know, this big facility that they've built to track it all. And it's like a burn center. And it's I mean, the one that's not far from here is probably sitting on a good 1.5 acre, 2 acre plot of land. All brand new buildings. They got nice fucking brand new trucks that they switch out every 50,000 miles. I think it's a shame. And I don't think that there's anything that any smart person could sit down and convince me of that would change my mind to be a burn advocate. It's just in my mind, it's satanic. You know, it stresses the fuck out of the trees. The ones that do make it, you know, they're super stressed. It suffocates all the birds in the area. It kills all kinds of animals. I mean, you wouldn't believe the dead animals that you come across after these burns, especially the moles. You know, this right here, there's an animal under the ground. I see those things dead pretty often. I've seen burned up snakes. I've seen burned up carcasses of animals. And they pretty much burn everywhere. It's just a matter of if it's been recent. But we could go into any of these areas on these trails and I could show you evidence. I mean, look, that tree's not gonna fucking make it. You know? You know, if you got something against these trees, then just chop them down. Use them for something. They just come through here and fucking burn everything. It looks like a fucking wasteland. You should see it after it gets burned. I mean, it really is a sight to behold. I've been in areas that they've had blocked off, but no one's been around. And, you know, just cross through the barrier and run through. If you're not conditioned for it, it's not the best of ideas. The smoke irritates your skin. It irritates your eyes. It can fuck with your hearing, you know, get in your ears. And of course it can irritate your lungs. I don't know why I'm on this little burn rant, but I really just pulled my phone out to listen to those motorcycles. Kind of curious to see if they're doing a loop. See if they'll be back. 16.2 miles. So we're at 620 foot of elevation. Woo! But believe it or not, I should hit the 2,000 meter elevation goal. The elevation achievement on Strava for the month. I should hit it in the next couple days. And it's I think today's the, I think it's the 8th. Today's the 8th of January. So within 2 to 3 days I should hit that goal. Which is kind of cool, you know, like a lot of places in Florida you could run for days and not gain any elevation. Where I run around my house, where I live, I don't live too far from here, but I live off of this little ridge just to the west, and it's flat. I run 10 miles in my, you know, around my house, and we got some nice trails right outside my door, and I'll hit like 20 meters of elevation gain. So, you know, people laugh when I say, oh, I hit, you know, 800, 900 feet. I think I meant to say feet. I don't know if I said meters. 20 feet. Sorry. The goal for the month that I was talking about kind of threw me off. It's 2,000 meters on Strava. That's their little climbing badge. I've already hit the distance goal. Hit that 6 days in. I hit the 100 kilometers in 6 days. 5 or 6 days. Super nice out right now. It's like perfect. It's not really perfect. Probably about 10 degrees cooler. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's 68. 68.4. I ran into these bikers, husband and wife. That was pretty cool. The wife had a nice specialized hybrid. is a hybrid electric manual pedal, specialized, bright orange, probably a $3,500 bike, I would guess. I didn't see what the husband was riding. Didn't stand out. It was black. Well, that was pretty cool. I saw them like at mile 12 maybe. And I imagine if they're doing the whole loop that they'll probably get back to the parking lot before me. But depending on how much battery that lady's got, they might not. I might see them at the trailhead. Most people start from this trailhead. You start from the other one, you got to pay admission to get into the park. And that can get expensive. Look, they even burned the placards. Yeah, it's really nice out. Glad that I can share this with you. A lot of people look at this and be like, no, thank you. Yeah, trust me, from a runner's perspective, you know, Florida's a great place to be. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, there's so many places to go run, and it's a real diverse scenery. You have some nice tropical areas. You got swampy areas. You got little creeks and spring-fed lakes, and you know, through here is mostly pine forest and scrub oak. But the oaks get really cool, you know, like they burn those to shit. But the oaks are really fucking cool through here because of this high canopy from these long pine needle trees, long needle pine trees. The oaks just bend and twist and contort in order to get any little bit of light that they can. So you get these, you know, like little hamlets like that, where you've got like maybe 5 or 6 oak trees in an area, and they just kind of bend in all different directions. And to me, that's just like the coolest thing ever. No sweat today. It's nice, temperate. Still have plenty of water. Kind of force myself to drink a little bit. Even though I'm not sweating, I want to stay hydrated. Believe it or not, I've been averaging 12 runs a week. And about 13 hours a week. And right in the high 70s as far as my average. Although I ran about 83 last week. It's an average that I'm pretty happy with. I'd like to get it down to fewer runs. What I'm working on doing is building up to being able to run 15 miles in a couple of hours. So ideally I do in between 80 and 100 miles would be like my sustaining weekly distance. And you know, obviously when I'm in the mountains, the time is going to go up. It's going to shoot up. Because through here, I mean, I can run I can run in the 8-minute range for 10 miles. So if I were to run 15 miles a day, you know, let's say I'm pushing myself and I'm running in the low 9s. So I can put down some miles pretty quick in Florida. But when you get in the mountains, it's another story. So time-wise, I'm happy where I'm at, anywhere from 12 to 24 hours a week, depending on the terrain that I'm running in. And anywhere from, you know, I guess if I was up in the mountains and doing a lot of elevation, I might not make it to 80 miles, but ideally I make it between 80 and 100 miles a week over the course of the next year. It's taken me since October to build up to 80 plus miles a week. I've just been doing it slowly. Like if you look on my Strava, it's like that. It's like a well-performing stock. Just gradual increase. And same thing with this week. I want to go from last week, I documented 81.5 miles. And I'd like to get to about 85, 86 miles this week. And then the week after that, we'll just have to see. The 3 days I'm going to be up in the mountains are going to kind of they're going to throw things off a little bit. They're probably going to add to my average because I'm planning on doing 15 miles a day. But I also know that that's probably going to be all I can muster just because of how long it's going to take me. I'm planning on it taking 5-6 hours. I mean, some of these runs that the hostel's got a shuttle, and they could drop you off into Slack Pack. And I was telling them, hey, I want to do this, and this. And they said, hey, when we drop guys off for that particular route, it takes them an overnight. So it takes them 2 days and 1 night. And so they're freaking out a little bit that I'm planning on doing, 3 of those, back to back to back. So I'm taking that to heart. I love these leaves. The red and the orange and the yellow and the bright green. It's really pretty through here. I'm taking that to heart and saying, okay, that's a sign. It's raining right now, sprinkling. It's supposed to rain by this afternoon, so planned on finishing right around lunch. Let's see, what time is it? It's almost 1, so yeah, it's taking me a little bit longer just because I've recorded. I brought my phone with me. I don't never take my phone with me on runs, so this is a treat. I have my phone. But anyways, yeah, hopefully that will take me through to being able to do some of these longer 200 plus mile routes. And if anything, I'll be ready, as ready as I can be. I got a lot of support from my family, though. Luckily for me, the kids are kind of in their own world at their age. Our oldest is, married and lives with his wife. Second is turning 17 in May. Third, he's going to be 13 in February next month. And then our up-and-comer youngest, fourth, is 11. She'll be 12 in March. Both her and my wife are Pisces. So I say that to say that they're kind of doing their own thing at this point in their lives. They don't really need mom and dad. Oh, I love this new sign. They don't really need me, mom and dad that much, other than being taxi drivers. So it gives me time to get out here. During the week is when I mostly run my long distance, because my wife and my wife too, like she's God sent. She's puts up with me, and she thinks I'm crazy. Like she really, like if you ask her, you know, she'll be like, yeah, my husband is crazy. She worries about me all the time out here, you know, doing stuff. Because I'll pick up and drive up into the mountains by myself and just spend 3 days out there running around. And then, you know, like, think about that though. I drive up, it takes me 7, 8, 9 hours, depending on traffic. I leave at night, and I drive all through the night so I can get up there in the morning and have a full day. So I'm not sleeping. I may take a nap before I run, depending on, sometimes I'll get up into the mountains at 5 in the morning, you know, and it's just pitch black, and, you know, I'm not going to start a run in an area, you know, that I'm unfamiliar with until, you know, it gets a little bit lighter. So I'll have, you know, 30, 45, maybe an hour to just kind of prop my seat back in the car and just close my eyes for a little bit and take a nap. Because I drive straight through. So if I leave at 10 p.m., you know, I'll get up into the mountains, you know, around 4:35 a.m., 5:30 a.m., depending on traffic, maybe 6. And at times I just get out, pack up my shit, and move out. Other times I have time for a little nap. But you know, it's just me out there for 3 days pushing myself, and then I turn back around when I'm done and I drive right back home and get back before school starts and work schedules kick in on Monday. And then Monday morning I'm up and I'm helping with the kids, and you know, it's like I was never gone. So it for me, I think it's really good training for ultra running because I'm sleep depriving myself during the drive, and you gotta concentrate. Like you could put on, you know, YouTube and watch TV or whatever on the way up. You know, my phone, I've got, you know, plenty of stuff that could keep me occupied, but you got to pay attention on those roads. And if I take my truck, I don't have cruise control, so I really got to pay attention, because I can't just zone out, and I can't leave my seat back because it's a race seat. So, that looks like could be the Florida Trail right there. I see a path right there. That's probably the Florida Trail. But if we cut through there, that's the Florida Trail right there. So we're still on the bike path. I'm gonna marry back up with the Florida Trail. I'm gonna get off the bike path and hop back on the Florida Trail back to my truck, which at this point should be less than 2 miles. 2 at the most. Maybe 2.25. I think less than 2, because I can see a camper through there. That right there is a camper. So we're getting close to civilization. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do on Thursday. I'm going to drive. I'm going to leave about 10 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock, probably 10 o'clock, because I don't want to get up there too early. But I'm also taking someone with me, and so I got to kind of plan for more stops, because I don't even stop to go to the bathroom sometimes. I'll just pee in a cup. I know that's gross, but if I don't need gas, you know, I mean, and I have to go, typically I just go to the bathroom when I fill up for gas. So my only stops, I take 2 stops, and depending on traffic through Atlanta, I may have enough gas to not need a third, but I'll just usually would just fill up a third time once I get into the mountains, just so I have a full tank of gas, because I just like to, it's nice to have a full tank of gas and not have to worry about something happening and needing gas. So 3 times. I typically will stop 3 times, and kind of plan it for more than that this go around. But yeah, I'll move out and get up there, and the person that is going with me is gonna drop me off bright and early before we even check into the hostel. I mean, that's the plan. And I got to figure out what I'm gonna do. I may just go up and over. I don't know. I've done that a lot. I think I've done that enough. I was thinking Blood Mountain. I might just go up and over Blood Mountain, up and over, and then back up and over. So you go both ways, out and back, basically, from one side to the other. But chances are I'll probably just get dropped off and do 15 miles. Kind of got some routes in mind. I've been doing the Appalachian Trail in sections since last May. So there's a gap between, if you know where Low Gap is, like Low Gap is where I stopped. There's really no way to get to Low Gap by vehicle. And there's a spot that you can get dropped off that's maybe a mile back from Low Gap. If that. I don't even know if it's a mile. It might be a mile or two. But so I'm going to pick back up there, do a little bit of what I've already done, go through Low Gap, and then go on to Unicoi and finish out Georgia. And so you see here, the bike path keeps going that way. I'm hopping back on the Florida Trail. So from here, I think I'm 1.98 miles from my car. So 17, 18, 19. It's going to be about a little over 19 miles. 19 and maybe a quarter. But I would like to try to finish out Georgia on this trip. So I figured 3 days would give me enough time. And what I was trying to say is that up until Low Gap, I've done most of the trail both ways up until that point. So I've gone Sobo and Nobo, because I usually just go up by myself and don't stay at a hostel. I just, I'll bring my hammock, or I can just sleep in my vehicle. I'm not doing a lot of sleeping. I'm moving out. And I'm gonna be packing light. Basically like a ultra race packing list, you know, some warm gloves, some warm raincoat in case it rains, base layer, windbreaker, space blanket, cell phone, charger, you know, lots of hydration. The good thing about the Appalachian Trail is there's quite a few water sources. If you run out of water here in Florida, you're fucked. You better try to find a pond or something. You ain't gonna find any streams. And I've run out of water out here, and depending on what time of the year it is, it can be pretty detrimental. The only times that I remember running out of water, of course, are in the summer. And in the summer, you gotta fucking down water out here. Unless you're some kind of superhuman that doesn't sweat. You come to Florida in the summer and not sweat, like I'm following anything that you got publicly to try to figure out how the hell you do it. So I'll be packing light, and if you want to follow me on Strava, it's OG Family Guy 5150. And Instagram, same. Whew. All right, well, I'm going to run out these last couple miles, finish up this run. I'm in a fasted state. I've only had water to drink. Well, no, I take that back. I had a little juice water combo when I woke up this morning. That was kind of like my coffee. A little bit of Concord grape juice apple juice, and I think it's got some blackberries. No, cranberry. So it's cranberry, apple juice, and Concord grape juice, distilled water, and a little bit of ice. So that was my breakfast. And like I said, I brought about 700 milliliters of water with me, and I probably have, just feeling them, probably have about half of that left. So I probably got about 300, maybe 350 milliliters left. I don't know what I'm gonna do for breakfast, but yeah, nice little run. Like I said, I got about 2 miles. It should be around right 19. I'm at 3.5 hours. It's 110 and 31,000 steps. It's not quite 70 degrees. My average pace has been 12:30. Pulse right now is 90. See the total ascent is 702 and the total descent is 650. Yeah, not too bad.